Welcome to the Little Things You Hear Together, where we dive deep into Broadway Cast Albums to figure out why some hit harder than others. I'm Alex Asp, and my guest today is Aly Sato. Hello and welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me, Alex.
So this is a fun album for me, but what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Amélie, which I'm very biased because I love the movie.
The movie is good. I really like this cast album, spoiler, but it was not a very popular show. It did not do well, so we may have a lot of disagreements with our maybe overly fawning at times opinions today.
Yeah. I read one of the, I think it was like the New York Times review, and I was like, fair, I can see why they rate it that way, and it did take me a little bit to get into it because I was initially comparing it to the movie experience that I had, and I was just like, it's not the same. But then once you get into it a little bit more, you do see how, it's not a bad thing to be like cute and quirky, but the fact that that was so lovely about the movie and that's what came through in the musical too, I was like, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, and I think that what I say about this show in general is it is very successful at what it is trying to do. Mm-hmm. What it is trying to do is not for a lot of people necessarily.
Yeah.
So that, I think, accounts for why some people love it and some people hate it, because it's just got a very specific idea of what it's trying to be. And if you dig it, great, you're going to have a fun time.
Yeah.
What is your history with this show then? Obviously, you saw the movie first.
Yep. So saw the movie. I remember hearing that the show came out, but I was still in the mindset of like, no, this should be the movie, stay the movie. I don't want to, kind of like ruin my experience with the movie by trying to watch this musical or come in to watch them or watch. By watch, I mean listen to the recording because I've never seen it like in person because I never went to New York to see it. But yeah, so I didn't want to ruin how I felt about it based off of other things because I knew I would have a bias going into it, right? So it was actually just last year where I started listening to the album.
Okay.
Yeah, and then getting into the album just on its own, I was like, okay, this is cute, this is fun. I can see how they took the story from the movie and made it into a musical, but it wasn't until I saw the bootleg on YouTube, then I think it was of the LA production.
And it was the pre-Broadway run, so there's quite a bit of things that are different.
Yeah, a little bit different, but just seeing it staged and seeing how they portrayed the whimsy and the kind of magic that was portrayed in the movie, but it would be hard to translate to a stage.
Yeah.
Seeing that, I was like, okay, this is actually super fun. It's super cute. So you have to go into it with the mindset of don't take it too seriously. Don't try to be all, cerebral about it or anything. This is just light, fun, cute. This is about this woman's life and how she experiences it. And that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be anything deeper than that. It doesn't have to have, some kind of huge conflict that she has to overcome. It's just Amélie.
And that also, I think, contributes to why some people aren't the biggest fans, because the plot is not the main point. It is more about the vibe of the characters and the world. Yeah. So if you're looking for a plot-heavy show, this is not going to be it. Because really, I was trying to think of how to summarize what plot there is. And it's basically a woman trying to find a connection after having quite a distancing childhood that left her not aware of how to interact with the world.
Yeah,
and it's just, that is not the most exciting thing if you just hear that, but it really is charming, I think, as we go through.
Yeah, charming's good. I like that.
This was a COVID show for me.
Oh,
where, COVID, we have tons of time with nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And so I started, I don't know if I found the album first or the bootleg on YouTube. And I was like, I'd never heard about this when it was on Broadway, because it wasn't on Broadway for very long. And I really enjoyed it just because it creates really a soundscape kind of vibe of a lot of the music is very similar to each other, but in a way that feels cohesive, not repetitive or redundant to me.
Yeah.
It feels very much like we have themes that are coming through the score to help us navigate the world of the show itself.
Yeah. And I really like that. Like, I like it when shows have, some kind of melody that they do end up repeating later, and you can kind of connect it back and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, especially when it takes you several listenings through of the album to realize, that melody is repeated here because they're doing this either different tempo, different orchestration. Maybe it's, the rhythm is swung or something different about it, and you don't even realize at first, first listen that they're the same melody.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between doing that well and doing it in the style of Andrew Lloyd Webber, where you're just using the same melody, hammering it down your throat every 5 minutes throughout the whole show. And there's definitely an artistic way to do that and a clunky way to do that.
Yeah, I like that it wasn't so much like this specific set of notes is the theme for this person. This one is for this person. It was just repeated for a different character for a different like reason. But it was just also nice to hear it and to be able to be like, oh, I do actually really like that melody. I like that they repeated it. And I was like, okay, and it's all connected.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole thing is everything's connected.
Right. I do really like the leitmotif style of this melodies for this character, but it does not work for every show. And trying to do so can be really weird. But I think this is the show that's perfect for what you said. It's just we're using that more to carry the ideas of the show as a whole across the show. And it's not specifically about that character at that moment.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So the music for this show is by Daniel Massé. Lyrics are by Massé and Nathan Tyson. Orchestrations are Bruce Coughlin, I'm not sure, who also orchestrated a few other things this season. This is on Rhino Warner Classics as the label, with Daniel Massé and Gary Maurer as the producers and Chris Allen as the engineer. So one thing, just to kind of get it out of the way, this show was not well received on Broadway. They revamped it heavily and opened in London in 2019. And that show is very different. And there's a professionally filmed version that you can find online. And it is, I'm not going to be that interested as we go along in comparing the two versions because I just can't get into the London one.
Cool. I tried to not listen to or see the London production just because I knew it would be so different. And I was like, I don't want it to muddy up my experience of the show. But then when I did listen through the UK version, and I was like, oh.
And I think it's similar, actually, that they have a specific vision and they are very successful at it. But this time, it's not aimed at me. And so I'm just like, this is not my style. Because everybody has French accents. Everybody is playing instruments. There's a lot more quirky, different way orchestrations, like more accordion, more French-sounding orchestrations. And I think that's a smart thing to do, but just, I don't know, it loses the charm of the Broadway version to me.
Yeah, at first I was like, I couldn't figure out why they sounded differently. It took me a bit to realize they were actually doing French accents.
Yeah?
But then I was like, they're still saying their H's though. And I was all, that's...
Because they have to be able to understand them in English, so...
Yeah, but I was like, that's not how you... Okay, that's not
I've
how
always,
you French. That's not how you French.
I've always found it fascinating how shows handle accents.
Yeah.
And when they choose to use them or not. Mm-hmm. And I think pretty much throughout this show, the Broadway version, nobody is speaking in any specific accent. It's just American accents.
Yeah, just very standard American, which at first it was what kind of put me off a little bit because I was all, this is a French movie. Yeah. It's weird to hear it spoken in American English. But then listening to the UK version, I was all, yep, nope.
Yeah.
They could have just kept British accents and it would have been like Ever After where they're supposed to be in France, but they're speaking with British accents. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I can suspend my disbelief for that. Cool.
Yeah.
But.
So it's, it is a choice for sure.
Yeah, there's only like one spot where I did like that the UK version did. They changed one lyric like towards the end of the album, and I was like, okay, that lyric actually does work a little bit better because I want to say it was literally the very last song. Yeah, it's Where Do We Go From Here?
Yeah,
and
there are definitely some good choices in that version. But if you want to dive more into the comparing the Broadway and West End versions, I did find a really nice video from Ellie Talks Theater on YouTube, so you can go check that out. It's like going through the pre-Broadway, Broadway, and UK versions and what's similar across different ones and different. So if you're interested, that is a fun video to go check out.
Sweet.
So this album in general is constructed similar to a lot of classic older cast albums where we're not really getting context for most things, but a lot of times you can infer what's going on in the show. Mm-hmm. But it definitely feels like the vision for the album seems to be reminding you of the show that you saw as far as what details they include, because there are things where we'll get one weird little line of dialogue that is not, we don't get anything about making it make sense on the album.
Yeah.
But if you saw the show, it would be like, oh yeah, I remember
that's
going back
what's
to that.
happening. That's, yeah.
And I think, that used to be the standard quite often for a long time it was not meant to give you the full experience. So I'm not necessarily mad about that, but it is something to consider as we go through with scoring story-wise and things like that. So should we just get into the tracks then?
Sure.
My parents tell me all the time that times are hard for dreamers. And then I'm told that I'm not old enough to disagree.
So on this album, we start with the prologue is Times Are Hard for Dreamers. And this is younger Amélie singing for us.
And yeah, I have thoughts about that. I'm always super jealous of like super young kids who get into musicals early because I did not. And I always look at them and go, oh, what if that could have been me?
Right? So many years wasted.
So many, right? Could have gotten into this like world so much sooner.
Yeah.
But instead, I didn't really get into it until like college.
Well, we make the most of it.
Yeah.
So young Amélie is Savvy Crawford, who does a fine job for the most part. There are some of those high notes that aren't quite there.
She gets like starts a little flat and then kind of slides into it.
Or
But
if it's a quick note, we're just like, I guess that's close enough and we'll keep moving on.
It's fine. Yeah. And then also, I mean, listening to watching the LA bootleg, I was all, oh, she's fine. She got it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a weird day at the recording studio or.
Yeah. And this is different from how the show opens both pre-Broadway and in the UK. That starts it's the same song for both of them. They cut it for Broadway and then reinstated it for the UK. But it is not this prologue. It is a song about how a fly, essentially it's a version of the butterfly effect where each thing kind of affects something else and you don't know what's going to happen. And I prefer this as the opening, the Times Are Hard for Dreamers. The other song, it feels too big for this story. Like, especially in the bootleg, it's the entire company on stage. It's very complicated, some really cool stuff that they do, but it just feels like it doesn't quite fit the rest of the show. So I like that we're not trying to go so big with setting the world, or more just setting the emotion that we're going to be starting with.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, you're at a show. Here's all the people that you're going to see and we're going to do. Boom, boom, boom. Here's all the stuff that you need to know. It's like, okay, just let them ease into it.
Yeah.
They can figure it out.
And the quirkiness of it, we get toward the end of the track, we're introduced to Amélie's father.
Raphael, who likes giving salutes in his army doctor uniform.
Always liked the idea of a daughter,
But not so sure now that I've got one.
But also, he likes his daughter in theory, doesn't really like it when he has to touch her. So we're getting really weird details included, but also like, oof, kind of gut punch of, oh, he doesn't actually want to be a father. That's going to be great for her.
Yeah, it's like he wants to, but then he has it and is all, oh.
He thought he wanted a daughter, but not so sure now that he's got one. But
Oh, Raphael.
then, so we get those lines in this track. There's really not a whole lot else to say about this song. It's fairly quick as a prologue.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit of, world's best dad to world's best friend to world's best mom. Did those need to be 3 separate songs?
That is a question. So the next track is World's Best Dad. And as you mentioned, the other 2 World's Best, they sort of operate as 3 different songs, sort of operate as one big song.
Yeah, they kind of mush, but
So I'm not mad about having them
separate tracks.
separated so I can listen to a specific one if I want. This is not something that I would have on my list of favorite songs to shuffle through, which is more often when I want them to be combined if I want the full experience. But since that's not going to happen, I like having them separate. So even though we were first introduced to Raphael in the prologue, now we have this song about him as the world's best dad. And at least it's on his coffee cup.
yeah, which
Oh.
is so sad because like she has nothing else to compare it to, and she's just all, oh, this is how it should be. He's the world's best dad, or at least it says it on the coffee cup. And I was all,
She
It's-
loves him even though he's so indifferent toward her.
yeah,
And
it
it's just so sad.
And it does set up the fact that, yeah, her world is very, very small. This is what she had to grow up with. So then you can see how she grows through the show as she meets new people and has different experiences. But, oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, just the...
He's not the kind to give a hug. He was a doctor in a war. Though he never gets too close, that's what the checkup's for.
Because the only time she ever gets any contact with him is her monthly checkup. That is just... And she doesn't see that that's a problem. She's like, oh, that's my monthly dad time.
Yeah, which I thought was actually super cute how they staged it. Because at first, just listening to it, I was all, what is going on with this kind of slow part? And then the whole entire ensemble being like
Just
super
opens up.
loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's because he's listening. That's when Raphael's listening to her heart. Like her heart beats normally, but then when he puts the stethoscope up to her
She
and
just
he's
gets
actually
excited.
touching her, yeah, she's like, oh my God, this is the only contact I get from my father, who is awesome. And then so her heart starts beating so rapidly. And I was like, oh, I thought that was actually super cool how they did that.
Yeah. I really
Which-
like that. We
yeah.
get the sort of like ba-bum, ba-bum. So we get that kind of lub-dub heartbeat sound.
And then it's like super excited. And I was
And
like,
she's just so
oh.
excited.
Yeah, which
Oh.
I didn't get until I watched the bootleg because just hearing it, I was like, okay, I can't tell why this musically is the way it is. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, this makes more sense.
I think if I didn't have a video to go along with it, and I was just listening to this, eventually I could figure out that that's what's going on. It may not be immediately apparent, but there are enough clues that if you're listening over and over, you could probably eventually get it.
Nice. I would
But
not.
I don't know, because I listened to it, then I watched the bootleg, so
Yeah.
kind of put the cart before the horse there.
Yeah, I was like, I listened to it while I was on a long drive, and I was just all, why is this part so loud?
And then I love right after that when he goes, Amandine!
Yeah.
I don't know why, just the way he says it makes me laugh.
I love, weird side note, I love his voice. I
Yeah?
love how different his voice is between Raphael and Bretodeau, too. Because I was like, oh my God, it's the same guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of doubling up of characters other than the main few people,
Yeah.
which is nice because that's kind of fun to have. You can have a
Yeah.
smaller ensemble. Everybody gets more to do than just your little track that
Just that
has
one
nothing to
track. Yeah. But yeah, Manuel Feliciano's voice. Love
And
it. I
I
had not been introduced to him before this.
do. My main introduction to him was he was Tobias on the Sweeney
Sweeney
Todd.
Todd with Patty.
Yeah, the 2005. And so I'm like, oh, but he sounds very different here because he's doing more of a character voice for Toby.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
this is like, oh, this is probably more what he actually sounds like.
Yeah, this is like his, grown-up dad voice.
Yeah. So we're getting Amandine, Amelie's mother, getting pulled in here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also getting the same kind of quirky, weird intro to her of like, she likes the flavor of stamps.
Yeah.
She likes taking a bath, but doesn't like when her fingers wrinkle.
Yeah, it's like, girl, and just get out of the bathtub earlier.
Yeah.
I don't.
But we're just seeing more of this kind of, we're going to choose random details to tell you about this person to get to know them. And that tells us as an audience a lot about the world that we're setting up and how we're going to get information, maybe not in a way that is super straightforward and obvious, but we're getting enough hints to put things together that it's going to be a different experience that we can enjoy still.
Yeah, and now it's like, okay, here's a quick 3 little lines of what this character, who this character is. And I did like that they did pull that from the movie, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because the movie prologue, it just seems so quick. And, you only see like young Amélie for just a couple of minutes at the beginning. But then it informs, well, obviously it informs the rest of the movie because it's her life. But then just the way that they grabbed small little bits that seem inconsequential.
Yeah.
But then it made such a huge impact. The fact that they use is a very small clip of her with the raspberries on her fingers and she's eating them one by one. And that's it. Like, they don't even talk about it. It's just in a montage.
Yeah.
But then they use it for like the photo shoots and the promos for the musical. And I was all, okay.
And I think there is some very compact and efficient storytelling in here as well. So once Amandine gets called over, the conversation between Amelie's parents,
Our daughter's heart is racing.
Oh dear.
I fear it might be broken.
She's broken.
I worry that her heart cannot handle any stimulation.
What do we do?
She's broken.
that is so telling that she immediately jumped from her heart is broken to she is broken.
Yeah.
Like,
and I was
that is
like,
just one word changing tells you so much about Amandine as a character.
yeah. And I was like, oh, ugh. That's one of those, gut punches. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
There are a lot of those in these first 3 songs.
yeah.
Poor Amelie.
I was like, that poor child.
And so their response to this is, oh, well, we must keep her heartbeat stable. We'll keep her at home and homeschool her.
Yeah.
Great. That's going to be great for her learning to
Obviously.
socialize. Not even, like, he's a doctor. Come on. You could just get a second
Yeah.
opinion or something. Like, whatever.
He's not a great doctor.
He's
They
not a
never
great
said he was a
doctor.
good doctor.
That is true. He was a doctor in the war, so maybe it was just they needed somebody.
Yeah. Maybe in the war, you had to make those quick decisions. So he's just like, oh, this is my conclusion based off of these facts that I have.
Yeah.
And that's
Very
it.
true.
And Amandine just goes with it.
And expands on it. Ooh.
God, yeah.
So we're keeping Amelie home, and now we go to World's Best Friend as the next track because they get her a fish as her classmate.
Yeah.
Amelie being Amelie, she names the fish Fluffy because of course she does.
Yeah, because Fisher's super fluffy.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So in the opening of this track, we're getting introduced to Zeno's paradox.
In ancient Greece, the philosopher Zeno posited that no 2 objects could ever touch.
Because every time they come halfway together, there's a new halfway point. And then you cross that halfway point and there's a new halfway point. So things can never touch. And this is interwoven throughout the rest of the show. And I think it's a really great metaphor because it's the mindset that she's getting from her parents of we don't touch, things are always at a distance.
Yep.
Don't even try to touch because you can't.
Yeah, everything's separate. You're always alone.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
It feels really natural how it comes up because she's being homeschooled. She's getting this lesson. But it's
Yeah,
going to...
her mom's a teacher. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to recur throughout multiple songs and scenes throughout the rest of the show. So I I could see some people maybe not liking this, how we're going super literal and bringing it back so often. And it's kind of maybe too in the weeds for some people, but I think it's very effective.
Yeah, especially with how they bring it up towards the end of the show.
So as we're going through, we have the goldfish, and Amélie, we're learning, has quite the imagination because that's all she has to keep her company. And she imagines her fish starts talking to her. And that's why, he's her best friend because they're chatting and your parents are crazy. And it's a fun way to get an insight into Amélie's psyche a little bit.
World's best friends, you and I. Now you say it.
World's best friends, you and
I love that she is imagining this, and the fish that she imagined is like, dude, your parents are crazy. And I was like, so at least she kind of recognizes it a little bit. But it's also super cute. I love how it is kind of weird to all of a sudden see this, full-grown man scooter onto the stage with like a fish on his head. But it's so cute how they did the puppetry. Like I don't think they overuse the puppetry, just like a little bit. And I was all, okay, it is.
Yeah.
I think it's effective. I think it's sweet.
Yeah. And even in the album, there are times that he's like doing a bubble effect with his voice to kind of
sound
hit home that
underwater.
we're the fish, which I think is smart. There is a point here where there's a wrong note from Savvy Crawford. They're harmonizing, and she goes half a step too high.
Listen to the crazy mom droning on, blah, 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 over and over. I'm glad at least there's someone else who can see.
Your parents are crazy, but you can count on me.
And it just bugs me. And then watching the bootleg, she sings it correctly. So I know it's not just that it was intended to be that way. Again, on the bootleg, she's fine. It's just on the album that it's not.
Which is unfortunate for her.
Yeah.
This is the one that was recorded for posterity.
It's such a nice little moment. And then to have that wrong note, just for me at least, it's like a little stab. Not a big stab, just a little stab.
Just a little jab.
So as she's imagining things with Fluffy, she is getting too excited, and her mom tries to take the fish away. And in the process, the fish goes flying out of the bowl, and Amélie gets really excited and scared and screaming. And so like, all right, the fish has to go.
Yeah, as you do when there's like, a fish out of the bowl and it's flopping on the floor, and you like, as a kid, what do?
Go get it back in the bowl.
Freak out. Yeah.
So their response is to take the fish to the canal and release it into the wild. And I love the line from Amélie.
You never got your plastic castle, but Fluffy, you've been granted a parole. You're not being sold down the river. You're getting the world's biggest bowl.
Yeah,
It's so sweet.
It is so sweet. And like, I love
Even in that situation that's not her fault, but she's being punished, she is still trying to be positive and reassure Fluffy. And again, we're learning that she's a very caring person.
Yeah.
And then now we go into the world's best mom, the last part of our little younger Amélie trilogy.
Woof.
So Amandine decides to take Amélie for a little field trip to Notre Dame,
As you do.
naturally. And then she prays the shadiest prayer right in front of Amélie.
A little help down here. You know I'm really not that strong, and it's very clear that my daughter's been a lifelong problem. Every night there's always something wrong. So I could use a son to make everything right. Sing along.
Here, I'm going to just shit talk you, and now you have to join in on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna shit talk you to God.
Yeah.
Please join me.
In Notre Dame. Like, what is wrong with this woman? Well, so much.
A lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what was on the back of those stamps she was looking?
Yeah. Oh.
I mean-
This is the 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to think of it in a whole new light now.
But yeah, I was just all, okay, Amandine, no, not about this. This is,
Yeah.
that goes into like straight up so cruel
Yeah.
territory. I was like, everything else is just like a little meanness, but this was actually really mean.
Well, she's going to get hers.
She's gonna get her.
Prayer rose up like incense through the stained glass window to a ledge where stood a tourist from Brussels, inching up to the edge.
So as they're leaving, a tourist from Brussels is up on a ledge and jumps off, landing on Amandine and killing her. Yeah. Which, again, I don't want to keep dwelling on like the visuals of it because this is about the album, but I do love they have somebody going across and then they have a balloon that can fall slowly on her. And
Yeah.
I know some people found that in poor taste, but for what we're building in this world, I think it works well, and it's a lighthearted moment
I
because we
thought
don't
it
like
was.
this character. She's awful.
Yeah, and also maybe we don't want someone's jump to their death to be super literal.
Yeah.
So the fact that it is a balloon version of this person and then just kind of slowly floats down and then bops her and she
Yeah.
falls down, I was all, okay, it's cool. I don't know why they changed it to a tourist from Brussels because that's not how it was in the movie, but
No.
whatever.
It might just be because that scanned better than the line for the lyric.
Oh, true.
And it really doesn't matter where he's from because
Yeah.
he's going to fall either way. So that is our young Amélie story now.
Yeah,
And we
and
kind
now
of cut
Amandine
to...
is done.
Amandine is done. And we cut now to grown-up Amélie, which is the beloved, amazing, talented Philippa Sue.
Oh my God.
So we have a time jump as we go into the future, and this is her. I think you get it more in the stage show, but you can still kind of infer with the time having passed, knowing how her parents were. She's kind of been held as a recluse a bit for all of her childhood. Now that she's an adult, she's off on her own. So she's taking the train into Paris to make a new life for herself.
They say times are hard for dreamers, but they won't be hard for me. I've saved up everything I know.
So I think you can get most of that, at least what's important from the album.
Yeah.
But it's
She's on the train. She can see out the window. She's getting an apartment. It's very much like, here are the steps that she's taking to grow up.
yeah, it's like she's just so excited to be striking out on her own and having an opportunity to do anything.
Yeah. Experience life.
Yeah, and I think the melody of the song is so nice. The orchestration is really simple but effective.
Yeah.
And-
I'm super biased. I love Times Are Hard for Dreamers.
Yeah.
Because also I love the line. Just the fact that, oh, times are hard for dreamers. And I was like, oh my
And who
God,
knows?
they are.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Or they are, but not for me.
Yeah.
Or, like, again, we're learning more about how she's seeing herself as part of the world
Yeah.
through all that.
My own museum full of paintings I look through, where everything is clear. It isn't where I am, it's only where I go from here that matters now.
And then I was like, oh, wait. Because then I went back and rewatched the movie and I was like, oh, they took that line from the worker in, oh, spoiler alert, Nino's, the sex shop that he works in. And she
Oh.
was telling Amélie about, about how he, used to collect funny laughs and stuff. And now he collects these like photos and all this stuff. And she's just like, oh yeah, times are hard for dreamers. And it was such like, it wasn't such a
Wow.
huge thing in the movie. It just seemed like, a random line someone said. And the fact that they grabbed that line from the movie to turn it into the song to make
yeah.
it like Philippa Sue's like first song when she comes out. And then on the album, they put the pop version of that song on it.
We love a bonus track.
Bonus track, yeah, which I love.
Yeah. I just
Super
think
biased.
a lot
Love
of the
this
lyrics
song.
in the song really flow so beautifully and just it feels so soothing how easy they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the second verse,
Off the train in Paris, half a mile from Sacré-Cœur, the city's waking up for me. A sign says an apartment's vacant on the second floor, and suddenly I hold a key.
the only issue there is at the end, suddenly gets a little bit too much emphasis, but the rest of that line is gorgeous, and I'll overlook it because I like it so much. Well, I'm not entirely overlook it, but I still like it.
Yeah.
This is kind of confirming things that we got from the little tidbits of her personality in the childhood numbers. We're seeing she's still very optimistic, still trying to figure things out, maybe doesn't know what she's doing. And it's obviously easy with Philippa Sue, but we know we're going to be rooting for Amélie so much because she's just so innocent and sweet.
Yeah.
And how could you not root for Philippa Sue?
Yeah.
So then we go to the commute, so we got the optimism bit of it. Now we're getting more of her oddities as
Yeah.
she's walking home
Her
and
day-to-day life.
She walks home from work, content all alone.
Stopping atop of St. Martin Canal, skipping a stone.
yeah, and just noticing things like she likes to crack creme brulee. We're getting lots of
Yeah.
references from the movie.
Which is awesome. Another thing where it's like, it was just such a small bit of the movie where it kind of just seems inconsequential, But then it became such a huge thing because that became, you know, one of the main images from the movie is her holding up the spoon after cracking the creme brulee. And I was all, oh, so I feel like they had to add that line in because if they didn't note the creme brulee thing, it's like, well, you can't talk about Amélie without the creme brulee.
And it's a very easy reference to make that doesn't need any expansion. You can include it to kind of keep that connection to the source material. If people find it important, great, it's there.
Yeah.
But if not, it's not going to take you out of anything because it's just a line.
Yeah.
So it is a smart way to just kind of pull the two together a little bit more.
And then it's also like, oh, yep, there's Adam Chandler Brad's voice.
Yeah, again, even Nino, Adam Chandler Brat, does double as an ensemble member a couple times. I think the most notable one is in this song. But yeah, even he's not immune from having to double up a little bit.
But it was also, listening to the album, I was like, oh, that's right, I forgot he's in this too. Sweet.
Yeah. So I saw the movie once a few years ago, I think around the time that I found the stage show, because I'd never seen it before. So I have seen it. I don't know it as well as you do. So
okay.
I think it's a reference to that, or I think it's pulled from the movie, but...
She wonders, is this how a night should be spent?
And how many couples in Paris are having an orgasm right at this moment?
Sorry.
15.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Definitely in the movie.
It's just, again, so weird and random, but we're learning that she's just kind of weird and random, but also she's not, as you might very easily go into, so sexually repressed that she can't even think about an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Especially
at least,
coming from her upbringing.
Yeah. So she's at least able to consider it in theory, even if she's not so much about the relating to other people herself. She's not a prude about it.
Yeah, because it's like in the movie, this is just when they're describing Amélie, and you know, she likes sitting in the movie theaters and then turning around to look at the people's faces behind her. She likes noticing small details that other people don't notice. And so that was one of the things, is like, oh, and also like how many people are having an orgasm right now. And then she like in the movie, she has also had, you know, tried to have boyfriends before, so she's not, you know, like a complete virgin or anything. Like she's been exposed to that world a little bit, but just, you know, not experienced love like she will with Nino.
Yeah, spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
How do you feel about the ensemble acting as kind of an omniscient narrator? Because it's especially present, most of the song is the ensemble singing about Amélie, but throughout the whole show, they're acting as a narrator here and there. What are your thoughts on that in general and in this specific show?
It's like, I like it. I think it's kind of Greek chorusy, a little Legally Blonde-ish, but not as in your face about it being a Greek chorus. But also, it's like, it's an ensemble, and, you know.
Got to give them stuff to do.
Yeah, I was like, if you're going to hire these people who are amazing, put them out there.
Yeah. In general, I find this is a very easy way to misstep and have a show get to, like, we're going to over-narrate the hell out of it and take away any nuance and any amount of, I don't know if they meant this or this. And no, we're going to tell you exactly what they mean at all times. So I think a lot of shows will go to that place. I think it is handled well here, where they are, as you said, more of a Greek chorus, not a true narrator.
Yeah.
And I think it generally works out pretty well.
Yeah.
And it keeps the tone consistent throughout the show of these voices that we're going to hear together in different combinations across the whole album, that we're keeping a similar vibe of the storytelling as well.
Later this evening, her life will change.
The next track is The Bottle Drops. So we hear a TV announcer telling us that Princess Diana has died, and in her shock, Amélie drops a bottle, and the stopper rolls across the bathroom floor, and must have had quite some heft to it as it was rolling across, because it hits a tile and essentially
pops it open.
Pops open a secret compartment. Because naturally, every apartment in Paris has that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Her fingers slip, the bottle drops, and falling in slow motion. The bottle hits, the stopper rolls across the bathroom floor.
So this is kind of more of a transition type song. It's about setting up what's going to come after. But it is interesting. So she's opening the box and going through the items that are inside, and it's things that are most likely belonging to a child who probably just stashed it and then forgot about it or whatever. But as she's going through, it's a list for a while, but then...
A watch that's waiting to be wound, a treasure waiting to be found. I am Howard Carter stepping into Tutankhamun's tomb.
why, but that imagery I really love. Like, it's just, she is turning this little thing into this big grand
Discovery.
venture.
Yeah.
Because not even I feel like, it's I am Howard Carter. She is fully feeling that as herself, that this is as important as opening King Tut's tomb. And I don't know, it just, the imagery is great. It'll come back in another song later, but I don't know why it strikes me as much as it does.
For me, at first, I was like, wait, is that how you say his full name? Tutankhamun? Okay.
Tutankhamun.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, if you think about it, you start to question yourself. But
Yeah.
So-
yeah. And then they also brought back, young Amélie for that too. And I was just like, oh, okay. So she also has a little bit more to do. So then,
yeah, she comes back several times throughout the show.
yeah, which is nice that they don't just have her for the very beginning and then
All right, now
just
go sit off stage.
leave her. Yeah, right.
And
like, give her something to do. She's here.
yeah, I don't know that it necessarily adds a whole lot most of the time when they bring her back, but it doesn't take anything away, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And
You could say it's like, oh, that we're seeing her inner child is still very much with her, but it's like, yeah, that's the character.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no question that the inner child is still there.
Yeah.
So as we're going along, she decides that, well, the ensemble is telling us,
That would be her mission. Anonymous good deed doing.
If I did, I could be like Lady Di.
the logic that she's using.
Yeah.
Like, again, she is Howard Carter. She will be Lady Di with anonymous good deed doing.
Yeah. She's
And-
like, oh, I'll make it. That's what I'll do with my life is I'll help people.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh.
It's sweet, but it's kind of, that's an interesting jump
jump.
to make.
Yeah.
But sure, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
I won't argue against people trying to be, making the world a better place.
Yeah. Especially, spoiler alert, the way she does it. It's very small things in the grand scheme of like the world, but it's also something where it's like, okay, but if you're one of those people, it's huge.
Yeah.
Like it totally changes their life, which we will get to.
And it's more attainable to do those small things for multiple people versus trying to do one giant thing to help all of mankind.
Yeah.
Because then you get stuck in the mire and you never actually accomplish anything.
Yeah.
So doing lots of little small things is always a good option. So she decides that she has to figure out how to get this box back to its owner. And there's a lot of story that we're not getting on the album, but essentially she goes to a fig stand with either the person that lived in the apartment right before her, or somehow she knows that this guy at one point lived in that apartment, wondering if he knows anything about what this was. So she goes to the stand, the fruit stand, and we have the song 3 Figs
From Lucien.
from Lucien. And it's
His
so,
only song.
it's so random on the album, but it's really funny.
Yeah, it's awesome. I also love the wordplay at the end of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
No, don't you worry. So as we're getting this, Lucien is singing, and we can deduce either he is a little simple, or he is just as quirky as Amélie, and being weird as how he's having fun.
Yeah.
So you see the instant kinship between them. Like, okay, I can tell these two are going to get along because they
Yeah.
kind of have a similar way of approaching everyday life with a little bit more fun than most people.
Yeah.
Which
Just
is
finding
nice.
joy in the small things.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
So it still feels in the world that we're creating, and I love
Figs, all in a bunch. They want to be my lunch. This fig is low. I'll name him Figaro. I don't know why people hate you so. Even Jesus hates you so. Big and juicy Figaro.
Why not?
Oh my
It's
god.
great.
Like, I love it.
So the actor singing is Heath Calvert, and he is doing so many hilarious things with his voice.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. It's so much fun. And then, on the album, we're like, this is not accomplishing anything. What is
It's
going
not.
on? But at the
far as
end,
the album goes.
Amélie comes in, and I'm guessing, I can't remember. I'm guessing there's like a break in the song that's not on the album where they're talking. But then Lucien is singing,
Figaro is blue. There's nothing on his plate. What's Lucien to do?
He finds the guy a date.
Yeah. When Amélie is like, he finds the guy a date, and I was like,
and Lucien's laugh when he finally gets it is
Yeah.
great.
because I love that he has the pause to think about it and then go, oh.
Oh, date.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
'cause
again, they're very much on the same wavelength of that.
Yeah.
And it's very clever and cute.
Yeah, and it's also really sweet because it's like they don't really use Lucien that much, so it seems almost like why did you have like put the character in the musical if you're not going to use him the way they used him in the movie? And it was just like to show that Monsieur Collignon, the owner of like the fruit stand, is like super mean to Lucien. And I was just like, okay, off the cast album, you don't get any of that.
No.
You're just like,
I mean,
where
Collignon is
did
not
this
on the cast album at all.
yeah.
We skipped, like, his stuff is mostly in scenes, so we don't get any of that here.
Yeah. It's
So
all just
you wouldn't even know
dialogue.
that he's a character based on the album. But Lucien does direct Amélie to him, and he gives a name, Bredotto.
Bredotto.
And this is where I'm saying we don't have anything about Bredotto, but we'll get something
Yeah.
else referencing it at the end of the next song, which is The Girl with the Glass. So this is Amelie's downstairs neighbor. I'm guessing it's like, there's a inlet for windows and stuff so she can see
like a
across but
courtyard or-
downstairs.
Yeah.
And she sees this guy painting the same painting every day.
See her there, safely hid in the budding middle class. I can capture each face, every tender embrace, except for the girl with the glass.
And somehow they come across each other. I'm not entirely clear. I don't remember, but
The neighbor, he just stops
yeah.
her.
But he's already aware of
He's-
her. And he has a rare bone disease and he's super brittle.
Yep.
They call him
He's
the Glass Man. And he's telling us all these things and we're like, you're sharing a lot right now. You just met this person and you're unloading on her. Okay.
The girl with the glass.
I wonder what does she see,
Girl with the glass.
as if she's looking out at me.
Girl with the glass.
Just a young girl who doesn't belong to anywhere or anyone.
Which is weird, but it's like in the movie they both do the thing where, because in which one was it? When she first gets to Paris, right, and she talks about her apartment, and she has all these, out her window, she can see all these other windows. And
Yeah.
and so that's like one of the windows is like she can see Monsieur Dufayel's window, and like she can see what's going on with his life, but it's also that thing where she's like not living her own life because she's watching other people's lives through these windows, but then he also does the same thing because he can't really go outside because
He has a reason at least.
he has a physical reason where it's like, if someone shakes his hand, it would break because his bones are so brittle. So he has to stay inside.
Avian bone syndrome. Hollow
Yeah.
bones.
Hollow bones.
That's a 30 Rock reference. So he is obsessed with the central figure in the painting, the girl with the glass.
Yeah.
Because he can get everybody else right, but he can never get her face exactly correct. And I'm sure there's a metaphor in there for something. But Amélie
Probably.
kind of, it's almost like a weird Rorschach test where she sees herself in the girl. Like, well, maybe she wants to have a good time, or, she's trying to kind of identify with the girl in the glass.
Yeah. They're both
And
enigmas.
it's
We
very
don't
sweet.
know. It is very sweet. Yeah. And she's just like, oh, well, maybe she did this thing, or maybe this is happening.
Maybe this whole swine is a party she's thrown. Maybe she's reunited that dog with its owner. And maybe she whispered that he's into him while she sits there and watches it all.
I just love how quickly her imagination jumps into full gear and is creating backstories for every single person.
Yeah. And she's just like, this is how other people live, right? Because that's also kind of starting for her. Like, this is how she wants to live her life too. It is a little foreshadowing of like, she sets these people up.
Yeah.
She gets these things together. Like,
Yeah.
She,
Because as of now, she has not yet done any of her anonymous good
do-gooding.
deeds. She's
Yeah.
in the process of trying,
yeah.
which then at the end of the song, Dufayel says, Bretodo.
Yeah.
And on the album, you're like, okay, what the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah.
Because we had nothing about earlier
yeah,
where she
about
had
Bredotto.
we had their name wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why she couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So
and
now-
the D and the T were switched.
Yeah.
But
so
going
Dufayel
just
has
off
given
the album.
her the correct pronunciation. So that's where I'm like, it's making you remember what you saw in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's enough to make you go, oh yeah, I remember that. But
Yeah.
you're not getting any
You're not
from
getting
the album alone.
yeah.
And then the next song is How to Tell Time. So now that she has the right name, she has arranged for him to come to be outside of her cafe, and she puts the box in a phone booth and directs him to that phone booth, and then she calls from a different phone booth and says, look down.
Down.
And I love that she's using a French accent to be mysterious, but then abandons it because he can't understand
Yeah.
what she's saying. down.
Down, Monsieur Breton. What? Look down. And, like, you know, she just, like, kind of gives up and it's just like, look down.
Yeah, it's
like,
cute. So he is reunited with his objects in the box from his childhood.
On the ledge,
A metal box,
a rusty hinge,
I know that lock.
slowly crack the treasure open. Cat's eye marble,
I forgot
a die-cast card.
my hiding spot.
And it is adorable because he is responding exactly how Amélie had hoped he would. He is being transported back, especially when he gets to his father's watch, which holds special meaning because it's with that watch that he learned how to tell time. And so it's connecting him with his father again, and it's just, oh, so cute.
yeah. And also this, you know, will be repeated later in the show with how to tell time
Yeah.
and watches. And
Yep.
I'm like,
And this is
love
where we're
it.
getting the repeat of the Tutankhamun's tomb bit, because he also feels like he's Howard Carter, I guess.
yeah, because it's like, oh my gosh, this is, man, what's that thing called where you bury it for a while?
Like a time capsule.
Thank you. Time capsule. Yeah.
An
it's like
accidental
that.
time
That's like,
capsule.
yeah.
Yeah, and that really is what it is, because he just had all these items that meant a good deal to him, apparently. And
But not good enough to remember when they moved out. He did hide it in
Yeah.
a wall, so
it's all weird. Don't think too hard on it.
yeah, done. Yeah.
Unlock the box.
I'm 7 in the schoolyard. I hear my mother's voice. She's calling from the hall. My father handing me his wristwatch. Here's how to tell time.
But it's a pretty brief song, and then now that went well, Amélie is going to continue her anonymous good deed doing.
Yeah. Because,
So-
well, outside of the song, you get the context of he hasn't like spoken to his like family in a while.
Yeah, because
and
he
so-
then goes into the cafe where Amelie's now working
yeah,
after,
orders a cognac and
and
is
he
like,
is
do you believe in
going
miracles?
to reconnect with his daughter and all these
Yeah.
things. His life is now changed for the better because of getting this box back and being inspired.
Yeah,
So Amélie, now, she said she was going to do it. She has to do it.
she's all in now. She's gonna
And
be
so
a
her next
do-gooder.
good deed is in Tour de France,
Tour de France.
where she accosts a blind man and just starts dragging him down the street, telling him things that are happening. And I'm like, why?
Put away your cup, turning down the lane, listen to the squeak of the bakery cart, leaving a trail of breadcrumbs. Do you hear the laugh coming from the priest? He has crinkly eyes.
What leads you to believe that he wants this? It turns out that he really likes it. He appreciates it. But why would you do that?
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I guess for the movie and actually the show, you do see him earlier, you know, like in the subway, and she, you know, goes to give him change in the coffee cup that he's holding. He like takes the change back out and he goes, "Oh, I'm not working right now," because at that point it's an actual cup of coffee. Like he like shakes off the coin and then drinks the coffee later. She's like, "Oh, sorry." So she knows like he does eventually want to get over to where like the trains are so that he can work and try and get change,
Okay.
you know, and panhandle and stuff. But yeah, it's just very cute, quick moment of like, oh, he can't see the world right now, so I'm going to describe it to him, all these small little
And again,
details.
the small things
The
that
small-
she's choosing to go for.
Yeah, all the
That's
small
what's
things.
beautiful. It's
Blink
there's the
182
priest with the
reference.
crinkly eyes, and you
Yeah.
hear that sound. This is what it is, and it really is sweet. Like it turns out that he appreciates it.
Yeah,
I can feel every stranger in Paris just waiting to collide. How a heart can pull like the moon as we circle each other, then crashing together.
yeah. Here's all these people leaving the ice cream shop with the sweet lemon ices, and then he joins her with the harmony
Yeah.
of like the sweet lemon ice. And I was like,
And again,
So
at the
cute.
end, he really appreciates it. He's trying to get her name, but she just
Runs away and says bye.
after she drops him at the metro.
yeah,
But now she's really confirmed, okay, this has been 2 good deeds. They've gone well. This is definitely what I'm supposed to do. So now we get, is it a daydream or a night dream? But we get the song Goodbye, Amélie.
this one. This is the one where when it randomly popped up on my Spotify for the UK version, I was all, something's weird about that.
This is so much weirder in the UK. Like,
Because he says Amélie,
yeah.
and I hate it. Hate it. I was like, you could at least still say
It's her daydream.
Amélie.
She's going to say her name correctly.
Amélie beats me, girl. Why you had to bid this planet adieu? Let me be the first to say merci, girl.
Okay, but I do love that the rock star comes out and is, basically her as, Lady Di.
Yeah, we're now at her funeral.
Yeah.
And Elton John is singing at her funeral, just like he did Candle in the Wind at Lady Di's.
You're right. But it's just, it's rock star.
Yeah.
It's not
You can,
Elton John. But you can infer
for legal reasons.
Yeah, for legal reasons.
But these lyrics are so stupid and absurd, but it matches what the song is. 'Cause
Yeah.
The song is so stupid.
Yeah, and this is her thinking, like, this is what her eulogy is going to be like,
People are going to love me just like they did Diana.
Yeah. We're going to have
Definitely the same.
A billion Zippos, like, in the air. No, a zillion Zippos.
Yeah. Okay, the biggest problem I have, honestly, with this whole album is in the song. When he does and you get a car and you get a car.
The Oprah bit.
Okay, this is very firmly rooted in 1997. We just had Lady Di's funeral. This is 1997. That moment has not happened yet. I really hate it.
Oh.
I think it's like 2004 that bit was.
Oh my
Why
God.
would they do that?
I didn't even think
There
of that.
are so many details that they got that seems like a weird one to overlook. That
Yeah,
it just
just
doesn't,
like timeline wise, it doesn't actually.
Yeah, it's not like we're being anachronistic all over the place. It's just this
Yeah.
one slip. Because obviously some shows you're doing anachronisms all, here, there, everywhere, because that's just that's the style that they're going for.
Yeah.
But that's not the style of Amélie, and it's just I don't like it.
Huh.
But they're saying she's going to be, what is it, like smarter than Oprah, better than Jesus, like
Just like, yeah, all these things. Where
any good person that you can think of. Oh no, you're going to be better.
Yeah.
People are going to remember you better.
I also just love the ensemble coming out as this like choir,
Yeah.
like church choir.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if they do or not, but you can definitely picture them in like choir robes.
Yeah.
Doing the swaying motion.
Yeah.
'Cause
The sound of it is very like, yes,
The
this
rhythm
is actually
and
how
the
it would
style.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very much like that kind of Elton John does a gospel number.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is usually a skip for me.
Oh, yeah.
I get the characterization he's doing with the voice, but I don't particularly like it.
yeah,
So I'm
that's
just going to skip most of the time.
But especially the UK for Amélie. Amélie.
Choices.
They didn't even say Amélie in like the American Broadway version. They still said Amélie. Like, that's how you say her name.
That's not my name.
That's not my name. Yeah.
When your heart and your halo hit the sky, look down, we'll be waving goodbye.
So the next track is Backyard. Amélie has gone back to visit her father, and Raphael is back again.
Oh, man.
And we don't get it on the album, unfortunately, but the brilliant line of, he built a shrine to Amandine, and at the center of it is this garden gnome. Why would you do that? Because your mother hated it. So every time I see it, I think of her. I wish they'd found a way to have that in the album somehow, because it's such a great line.
It's so good that he's just like, yep, she hated it, so I'm going to put it right next to her urn. And this is going to be all about her.
I mean, his logic, though, is solid. Like, she hated it, so I'll always think of her when I see it.
So he thinks of her, yeah.
Yeah. But we're getting kind of confirmation of what we might have guessed earlier with Times Are Hard for Dreamers, that he is largely living a hermit life.
I washed and folded all of your laundry. I fixed that sink with the leak. I left you some meals in the freezer, enough to last you a week.
He's not leaving because he's kind of stuck in his routine. And she's like, oh, why don't you come visit me? I came out to visit you. It'd be nice if you came into the city. We could go have fun, do stuff. And he's like, nope.
Yeah.
And then the reason that he gives is because he has to stay and take care of the gnome.
Yeah.
Like, the gnome is keeping you here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally, that's a logical thing.
Yeah.
Garden gnome's life isn't easy. His terracotta rots in the turf. Once I went away for a weekend.
Great.
Some neighbors painted him like a Smurf.
That's his logic. And the song's not doing a whole lot. It's a pretty short song. It's more just setting up what she's going to do. Because at the end of the song, she steals
the
it.
gnome.
You're coming with me.
Yeah.
And we'll find out why soon.
And at this point, like the, prop gnome has turned into the actual actor who's dressed as a gnome, which will come into play later.
Yeah. So we'll circle back on that in a few songs.
You use the phrase circle back.
Yes.
It's so good for it. God.
Next track is When the Booth Goes Bright.
Nino.
So it took until track 14 We're finally hearing from Nino.
I know. That's one of the things I don't like. I was all...
Adam Chandler Brat is definitely a little underused in this show, I think.
Yeah. And also for such a big part of Amelie's life, to not put Nino Quincampoix in until that late, I was like, I get why they had to set up all the other stuff first, but I was all... Dude, but she sees Nino before that in the movie because she's always taking
and in the
train.
in the stage show, she sees him, but they never talk. And we don't get his view of things until now.
So yeah, in the cast album, you're like, oh, finally, we get to hear him.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. Like his face does not match his voice for me. Like I have a very specific idea in my mind, like from the first time I heard him in Next to Normal.
Yeah,
and he looks nothing like that. He's way more attractive than the picture I had in my mind from his voice. But
okay, good. Okay,
I don't know
so
why,
it goes that way.
But because he's very attractive. But
he's hella cute.
It's very different from what the voice is giving to me. Like it's just my brain can't compute it.
Oh, was it because you were introduced in Next to Normal? So like your thought
That
of what like
character-
Henry looked?
Yeah, like what a Henry would look like. Yeah, I think that's probably why.
Yeah, as far as what a high school stoner would look like.
Yeah, very different from Adam.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of getting it through the album, not a ton, but his thing is traveling around and taking the photos from photo booths that people leave behind.
Yeah, the discards.
Yeah. And this song, I think, is trying to do something deep, and I don't think it quite gets there to the level that it feels like they think they're doing more than they actually are. And that's a really weird syntax of the sentence. But because I think what they're going for is these photos are records of moments, but real moments that happen to real people. And so by collecting the photos, we're kind of connecting with all of those memories, those people. And I don't think that's what the song is actually doing. It's not getting that metaphor down very well.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful song.
It's a very beautiful song. And I do love, the thought that photos are memories of this specific moment. And he talks about, the different moments that you want to remember.
There's the girl you were. There's your trip abroad. There's your father's smile. There's the face of God. There is everything that you were and you still want to be. What do you see when the booth goes bright?
Yeah.
And I was all, these pictures aren't actually from the photo booth. He's just talking about photos in general now. I was like,
I mean,
okay.
But that's the thing with the photos. You don't know anything about these people. You're making up what you think the stories would be. Mm-hmm. This person looks like they're not from France, so they're here on a trip abroad. Or this couple looks like they maybe just met and are in love. Or they look like they've been together for a long time and are, you can make up whatever story you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it too, is he's talking about you don't know what these people are, but you also can't know what they're not. Mm-hmm. That also doesn't really make sense, but.
No, it does, because it's like in the movie, he collects them, and then, there's the one man that his pictures are in Nino's photo album over and over and over again. And so, Amélie makes up this story about him, like, oh, he's a ghost, and he's, all these pictures are so people don't forget about him, and then,
It's on the album, so we may forget to come back to it later, but I think it's funny. It turns out he sees the same guy over and over because the technician who takes a test photo before he leaves.
Yeah, to make sure that the machine is working. And then he goes. And then he tosses them because he was like,
because he doesn't care.
I don't need
just
these.
making sure the machine works.
Yeah.
It is also funny, and that would be harder to include in the album somehow, but it's another fun line.
But it's very sweet in the movie, and it's always also very sweet in the actual show.
What happens when the booth goes bright? Where do you go when you're out of view? What's the use in trying to hide or tearing yourself into?
Near the end of this track, the end of the song, we do get a note from Adam as he goes up to Bright that is really straining to get there. And I'm like, oh, and I've heard you hit higher notes. I don't know why it's so tight on this one, but it's just not the best.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't hate it, but it's, I know you can do better, Adam. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Okay, are you Raphael Poulin right now? Oh my God.
Well, he doesn't even care enough to be disappointed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's so much worse.
It is.
When the booth goes bright, when the booth goes bright.
So we don't know exactly what's happening from the album alone, but the next track is Sister's Pickle, which is quite a title.
Not a fan. Not a fan of it.
Of the title or the song?
Well,
Or both?
I guess the song more. Like the title of it, like cute, just because she's in a pickle.
Yeah, and she somehow got an address for him, and it turns out that it's a sex shop where he works.
Yeah.
And she goes dressed as a nun to give him back his book because she found it.
Yeah,
somewhere.
the photo album full of all the pictures from the photo booths that he's collected over the years and put together and stuff. So she's trying to return it.
And we don't know that, though.
But we don't know it from the album. Yeah.
And she'll reference the book later, and so we can kind of, again, go back and deduce what it was on repeated listenings. But
on first listen, you're just like,
I have no idea what's going on.
yeah, what do you mean, sister?
Yeah, and I don't know why she's dressed as a nun. Why not? Of all the
Also-
disguises you could go with.
Also, in the movie, she doesn't do that.
Oh.
She
Even
literally
weirder.
just walks in as herself, carrying the photo album, and is just like, is this person here? Like, I'm here to return this.
Yeah.
And then, and Sylvie the worker is like, oh, he's been looking for this. You don't get any of that from the album,
No.
and it's very weird that she dresses up as a nun to do this in the show. Because then she's like,
I think they just wanted the weird visual of a nun in a sex shop. Like,
I guess,
that might be
yeah.
all that they
Yeah.
wanted. And,
Yeah. And then
again, you can infer, like, you can tell from the song itself that she's dressed as a nun because she makes a reference to it, but not until later in the song.
yeah.
So for most of you, like, you don't have the visual of why these lines are funny. Like,
Yeah.
he'll think I'm chaste, but I'm not.
But
that
I'm not that
chaste.
chaste. Yeah.
Like, well, why would you think that? Oh, because you're dressed as a
'Cause
nun. We
yeah.
just don't know that yet. And again, orchestration as storytelling is fantastic, and I love the orchestra is very playful here, and it's like the da 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 da, and it's just it really is setting the mood for the moment,
Yeah.
very well, and I do appreciate that.
And also Amélie in a sex shop when she's just like,
It's hard to go unseen, at least in this instance with so little distance between me and the boy and his book and the shop and the wow. I take a step to get out, but my feet forget how.
and the wow.
And on the album, you have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Versus in the show, she's like wandering around and comes across was it like a huge dildo or something?
I don't even remember.
Something
but
that
yeah,
just shocks
something
her.
where, yeah.
Yeah. So a line that I am kind of bothered by is I could stay right here and give back the boy his book. It's really awkward syntax. Like, it's not technically incorrect, but it's very much, and in a lot of it's actually more like how the grammar would be in a lot of Romance languages. Maybe French. I don't speak French, but like that's more how the grammar would be in Spanish, or at least commonly would be phrased that way. But in English, we don't really do that. And I guess it's just for the scansion of the line, but I feel like they could have done it a better way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for me, I still like the song overall because it's made up for by
Or I could run away, leave his book on the shelf by the lube and the lingerie.
which great,
Which, yeah.
and she sounds great
Visual.
doing that. But yeah, and it actually took me a while of like listening to the album before I even caught that line because it goes by so quickly. I'm like, oh, lube and lingerie. Oh, that's what she means.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's nothing at all on the album to tell us it's a sex shop, right? That's our only clue, I think.
Yeah, just her like kind of discovering all the stuff that's in the store and being like, oh, whoa, oh, okay. Like,
But from listening only,
you don't,
that's the closest we get to telling us where we are.
Yeah.
But then I do love also the fun wordplay of shake the habit off. Both as like shake a habit
'cause
and she's going to take off the outfit.
none. Yeah.
So that's a funny line, I think. And I do like the end.
But not right now. Now I need to go. I'm not finished with the boy. I mean the book. So I will hold it till tomorrow.
Little Freudian slip there of what she actually means.
Yeah,
She
she's
thinks
just
it's all
like,
about
oh
the
no,
book.
this is
And
it's
I need
all
to look
about
at the book
book
more, that's all.
It's a book. It's
Yeah.
the book. It's not the fact that I'm attracted to this guy. But yeah,
And so that's a cute moment. And,
It is very
And
cute.
Philippa delivers it very well.
yeah,
I will say Philippa Sue is not always the most expressive singer as far as character. Like, she sings gorgeously, but it's often you're not getting a lot of the emotion of the character through her singing.
Oh, is this going to affect your scoring later?
Maybe we'll see. Well, I will say though, I think she does more of it in Amélie than other albums
Oh,
that I've
and
heard
other
her on.
shows. Yeah.
Because normally, like in Hamilton, she's just mostly a beautiful voice, except for a little bit in Burn, and
Yeah, because that's she's just like
because that's what her voice
She's
type is
mostly-
often used for in musicals, is just to be a beautiful soprano.
voice.
But that's not her fault.
Yeah.
And now the next track is Halfway. So this is another return of Little
Zeno's-
Amélie,
Yeah.
and we are once again focusing on Zeno's paradox even more. And just the line,
In my mother's schoolhouse, there was always halfway to go.
and literally because of paradox, but
Yeah.
like no matter what, I could never get close to her.
Yeah.
Just again, we'd forgotten how sad it was.
Sad, yeah.
Her childhood.
I was like, Amandine, come on. At least she never, comes back in the show.
Not as Amandine. Yeah.
Not as
The actress
Amandine,
is
yeah.
back, but
as-
not.
yeah.
And I think it's so well written, but so well delivered with the melody, the voice, like everything comes together so well for.
But before I can get anywhere, from point A to point B, I am at that kitchen table where I'll always be at sea.
You're
But
getting
so
that metaphor
sad.
that she has this fear of starting toward anything because you don't think you can actually ever get there.
Yeah,
So why
yeah.
bother
So,
trying?
yeah.
And like that really does inform her worldview as an adult.
As
it's-
her life and stuff, right?
And to varying degrees, I think a lot of us can
Relate.
sympathize with that. Like, we're never going to do that, so why even bother trying? And
Yeah.
that's not necessarily a very healthy way to approach it,
It is definitely not.
but it's a common one.
Little boat, big ocean. Little boat, big ocean.
I think it's really nice at the end of this song when Big and Little Amélie are singing together. They actually sound really nice together, I think.
yeah, and it's also very cute. Zeno's paradox, man. It's just,
This is kind of our halfway as well through the arc of Zeno's paradox. Because we had it at the beginning, we have it here, and then we'll come back to it at the end.
yeah. 'Cause
So
now
it's,
she's
it's
just,
halfway more than. Actually, I wonder if that's intentional to have the song halfway be halfway between the other two numbers that really cover it in detail.
oh yeah. Wait, is it actually like halfway through
don't
the album?
know.
Or through the show?
Or like halfway between those two
Fascinating.
points, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. But
Or,
also,
I'm making that up.
Or yeah, well, we can look at it later. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that she's just like, she has the situation set up with the book and then returning it to this boy, and she's kind of interested in this guy. But no, remember what mom said. You're
can never actually get
gonna,
there, so-
you're never gonna actually get there. So it's like, why?
So she just feels lost at sea.
Yeah, at her
she's so
kitchen
alone.
table at home that she grew
Yeah.
up with. Like, dude, that's
Bleak.
yeah.
Oh. Okay, we'll
Anyways.
take a breath.
So, yeah.
We'll reset here.
A little happier song next, but
Okay.
kind of
So next up is Window
window
Seat.
seat. Yeah.
This is the biggest skip for me. I don't want to listen to it at all.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
fair.
short, and this is another good deed, quote unquote good deed. This
Good
one's a little bit.
deed.
I'm not so much sold on this one.
Yeah, this is a little manipulation.
So, and again, we don't get any of the context for it. But
Yeah, not on the album.
what's actually happening is there's a woman whose husband left her for a younger woman and then got in a plane crash
And died.
and
Yep.
died. And so Amélie decides that she's going to do a good deed by writing a letter from the husband where he was going. He was.
He was gonna come back.
Yeah,
to
he had
her.
changed his mind, realized his error, and he was coming back to her when he died.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't know that that's a healthy thing to put out there.
yeah, not a super.
Yeah, like, this is
great
not such a good
thing.
deed, I don't think.
Open road, window seat, runway ends, the world grows clear.
Yeah, this is the good deed that I was most like on. Like, it does give her closure and it does make her happy a bit, but then I was like, I don't know if that also wrecks her in other ways though too.
Right? You don't know what the downstream effects are going to be.
Yeah, especially now she's like, oh, I could have had this, but I can't
Right.
because then he died. So it's like, oh,
It's really crazy to me that this is the same actor who played Lucien who's singing this song.
oh yeah.
Like he
Ooh, his
really has
voice
range in his
this one.
voice. His voice is quite dreamy.
It is so good.
But like you would never guess that it's the same person because he
Acting.
has such a range of what he can do. Because some people, when they sing, it sounds the way it sounds, and that's all they know how to do. And I love when people can shapeshift like that and
Change their voices
bring
a
more
bit
of themselves and the acting into the singing.
Yeah,
Versus,
yeah.
well, no, my singing has to be this way because that's the proper
'Cause
way.
that's my
and
voice,
That's healthy, and that's my voice.
yeah.
It's like, well,
That's
yeah,
how it's gonna sound.
but you can modify things.
Yeah, because like the character is completely different. So
If I could reach you from Machu Picchu, then I would say everything. I would give anything.
But yeah, this is a really quick song, so not a whole lot else to say about it.
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to you. He's coming back to me. I love you. He still loves me. Okay, cool.
Really weird.
Yeah.
But now we are circling back, as I said we would,
Yes.
to There's No Place Like Nome.
There's no place like no.
And
love it.
We don't get the full details of it on the album, but you can get enough. Basically, one of the regulars at the cafe is a flight attendant, and so Amélie has given her the gnome to take around the world and take pictures and send postcards to Amélie's father, taunting him that the gnome is out there seeing the world and he's not.
And he's not. Yeah, it's like you can get
brilliant.
out.
I
You can
love
get
that.
out and see the world and explore. Look at all these cool things that are happening.
Cheerio from Buckingham Palace. I admit he looks good as a guard. But I want him back in my backyard.
And it does work because it gets Raphael to come into the city to visit Amélie.
Yeah, to be like, look at this.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Because I mean, maybe he deduced that she took it, but we don't have any reason to think that he knows that she is the reason the gnome is gone.
Yeah, he just knows, like, who do I talk to about this? Who do I talk to about this? Oh, I guess. And then the fact that it actually, in this show, like, brings him to her. Because, like, in the movie, she just goes to him because she visits him so often.
Yeah.
And he just shows her all these pictures that he keeps receiving in the mail. And I was just like, oh, the fact that it brings him to her,
I like that.
to her workplace so he can see her life, I think is cool. Mm-hmm. Not the biggest fan of the fact that she was like, hey, Dad, this is Suzanne. I was like, dude, don't try to set up your dad with your boss. Like,
That's a little bit weirder. Yeah.
yeah. I was
Again,
like,
she's doing a good deed. Is she?
yeah, I was like, she's getting people together romantically, which,
I mean, it might be a good idea. We don't know enough
be
about
good.
them to know if they'd actually be a good fit.
yeah. I was like, I guess in the movie she does kind of set up people, but it's two different characters. So I guess this is the easiest way to do it in this setting. But I was
Yeah.
like, no, by the way, Dad, this is Suzanne. I was like, not about it.
Yeah.
But I love this song.
But in the song, we have so many bad puns.
Which are my favorite
Of
kind.
course,
I
yeah.
love it.
It's just like,
Here today, gone to Maui.
yeah.
Rio de Janeiro's
What-
Brazilian.
Ugh.
Oh my God. That was my favorite thing. Because, again, I was listening to this album for the first time, like all the way through on a drive. And like I heard that line and I was like, oh my God. I had to immediately text my friend about that. I was like, oh my God.
I enjoy the line.
The stewardesses, they always wonder, doesn't matter where I roam. She asks, are you one of Santa's elves? And I say, ma'am, I am a gnome.
And they
very
sampled
much-
Walking in Memphis for that part. Like
really?
when those notes started up and I was like, Walking in Memphis?
Okay.
Oh my God. I love that they did that because I was like, I don't know if you have to like get rights or something.
It does sound reminiscent of something to me. I didn't know.
Oh yeah.
that it was
Yeah,
actually-
the song is Walking in Memphis.
I probably heard it and I just don't know.
Yeah.
It's also the ma'am, I'm a gnome is getting very much, ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah.
It's giving that energy and I love it.
Yeah. Because like in the, well, I guess real song, you know, he's walking in Memphis as the title implies. But yeah, and you know, it says, you know, someone said, like, are you a Christian? And he says, ma'am, I am tonight. So then that's mirrored in Amélie when she's like, oh, are you one of Santa's elves? And he's like, ma'am, I am a gnome. Like,
Oh, I love that.
It's
quick
love
enough.
it.
I'm guessing they didn't have to worry about rights.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was like, I don't know how any of that works, but I was like, these are definitely the same notes. This is like the same song.
Yeah.
But for like, yeah, such a small bit, maybe they didn't have to.
Why don't you look at the menu? Meet a few of my friends while you can. You'd like the white wine and mussels. Dad, this is Suzanne.
So at the end of the song, she sets up her dad with Suzanne, and then we go to Thin Air, which,
Adam Chandler Barrett.
yes, this might be one of my favorites on the album. Just the energy of the song with the driving beat. Like, it's not fast, but it is very much the definition of driving, as in the beat feels like it's going somewhere and it's leading you forward at all times. And part of that is that we're just getting the constant triple meter on a double meter. So we're having that conflict between the two, but they work so well together.
You sent me a photo that I recognize. The frame tries to hide you just like a disguise. But I know that face from the look in your eyes, so I'm reaching out to you.
But
gonna smile and nod
that
to it.
automatically adds some energy to it. And then just the way that Adam is singing, just the way that's written and the way that he's performing it also give that forward momentum feel, which it's really engaging and I love it.
Yeah, because it's like he's finally seeing that, oh, she left him a clue we don't really
Which
know.
we have no
If
idea about in the
yeah,
album,
if we
but-
listen to the album, it's like, okay. And so he's just like, okay, you left me, I think, like a picture or whatever. And
I
so
think
he's
like of her eyes, like a photo strip of just her eyes, something like that.
something, sure.
So, who are you now when all you have is thin air around you?
And so
Yes,
he's
I don't-
made photocopies of that and is putting up flyers all over
Oh my
to
God.
try to get her. We do get that because he's says to
'Cause
somebody
he's-
like, "No, I'm not handing out flyers. I don't want you to come see my
Yeah,
band."
come see my band. And the fact that they added that little bit in there, I love. Because it's like, oh, you don't need to see the show to visualize the fact that he's passing out papers and people are like, nah, we're good. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not inviting you to see my, like, it's not a band thing. I
I'm
swear.
not trying to get you to do
I'm not
something. Just
flyering
look at
for
this.
that. Yeah.
This is the other one that I feel like it wants to be a deeper song than it is. We're talking about what happens when you vanish into thin air and the thin air around you.
Yeah.
And it's just,
And I was like, eh.
some of the language is such that it feels like they're trying to go deep, but it doesn't actually develop into anything.
It's too easy to disappear these days. There you go now, but nobody sees it. You leave a photo behind for a stranger to see.
Yeah. I was like,
It's
what do
still,
you mean
again,
there's
still
thin
a
air around
fun
you?
song, and I love the song.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like it wants to be more important than it is.
Yeah. I was like, why thin air? And then I was like, did
And
they
vanishing to thin
say
air is an
something about
expression,
that? Yeah. And I was like,
but it's just,
there's just thin
Weird.
air around you. And I was like,
and I think what they're going for is he saw her, she vanished into thin air, and now we're going to take literally into thin air, and he's pontificating on the air itself.
okay. I was like, is
But
he up in
that's-
elevation? I
that's
don't know.
kind of
What is
abstract to me that we're like,
Yeah.
we're taking a phrase and turning it literal and then getting into the specifics of that. And
Yeah.
again, maybe he's had some stamps and he's
Yeah, I
knows
mean,
what
he's
happens
looked
with the thin air.
his own stamps. Yeah.
Around you, around you, around you.
Next up is the super short Writing on
Very
the Wall.
short.
And this makes no sense in the album at all.
Yeah, if you don't know that it's one of the regulars in the cafe that Amélie works at, which you also don't know.
No.
It's like you don't know she's working in this cafe.
You kind of get it in A Better Haircut. when
Yeah,
She
yeah,
won't
yeah.
bring you this stuff unless she's at the windmills.
Yeah, unless you're at the windmills.
But you have to know that that's the name of the cafe.
Yeah, you have to know the cafe is
Two
called
Windmills.
the Two Windmills.
But yeah, so Hipólito
Hipólito
is the poet.
the failed
and-
poet.
Yeah. And Amelie's good deed is she dresses up as Zorro and spray paints a poem of his on the side of a building.
Yeah.
Because vandalism is a good deed now, too.
Yeah.
It's like we started high with
Maybe
the
it's
good deeds. and
washable. Maybe it's washable.
Maybe it is.
I don't
We'll give her the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
Yeah. Started high, and then the good deeds are slowly. Well, I mean, eventually she'll do like a good deed for herself because she's also doing all this other stuff for other people, and it's like do something for yourself. You deserve good things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just one of the lines that he said earlier in the show, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's actually super
And she just kind
profound."
of caught it and liked it and put it
Yeah.
out there. But this is, again, it feels like an example of the album is just trying to remind you of the show that you saw. Mm-hmm. Because if you're approaching it from that mentality, the song is like, oh, I remember that moment. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I think in the show they do it like with projections, and it's really beautiful how they accomplish the writing on the wall. So I think it's more about getting you to remember that.
Yeah.
Because the whole poem is like,
yeah, exactly.
And that's
They're
the whole
really
song.
into cognac
yeah, they
in
really
the
like cognac
show
in the
and
show.
like at the Two Windmills. I don't know. I don't think they
That's
they
their
serve
special.
anything else.
But yeah, so it's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, cognac would be the sap in the Tree of Life. Cool.
Which, again, speaking of trying to be deeper than you are,
Yeah.
the failed poet.
Oh, Hipólito.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't know, they're saying a dude's name, which is Hipólito.
No,
I was like, the
'cause
first
they
time I
say-
listened to it,
they
I was
say
like,
the
what are
poem,
they?
and then they sing Hipólito, and
Yeah.
then he sings Hipólito. Like,
Yeah.
what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. I was like, admittedly, the first time I listened to the album, I forgot that Lucien was a character. So when he was singing Three Figs, I was like, who is Lucy N? Like, I thought it was a person's name
Oh, Lucy.
first. Yeah, Lucy, and then their last initial, N. And then I was like, oh, Lucien. That's right.
Love it.
So, yeah.
So instead now we'll go to Blue Arrow Suite as the next track. And I love this simple opening.
5 p.m. Montmartre Carousel, bring 5 francs. 5 p.m. Montmartre Carousel, bring 5 francs.
Yeah, 5 francs.
It
5
just
p.m.
turns this random line into, it's kind of goes into a round.
Yeah,
And it just becomes so
which is
beautiful from this simple
awesome.
phrase.
And it also just pops up in my mind randomly too.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just sticks in there. Like it's so
And it all comes together for
cute.
a beautiful chord. And
Yeah.
it's really brief before we go into the rest of the song. But it is,
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird cold open of sorts, and I love it.
Yeah, because you also don't know. What do you mean Blue Arrow Suite? Okay, she puts tape,
Yeah,
like
you never
blue
know that
tape
ever in the
arrows.
album.
You have no clue that she's directing him toward a certain space with
Yeah.
blue arrows.
Yeah, she's made a path on the ground for him to get to a certain spot that she wants him to be. And no, there's really nothing to even hint at it throughout the song.
Yeah, that's it.
But I love the line,
Here I can keep him moving forward and keep things as they were, halfway to love and just close enough to Sacré-Cœur.
it's another example of Zeno's paradox coming
Yeah.
into play. But she's like, I'm not ready to take the jump, but I can sort
I
of
can
move in that
get there.
direction.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the beginning of her starting to budge a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
not much movement, but she's at least
Making
psyching
some
herself up.
movement. Yeah. She's building up that forward momentum.
Yeah,
She's
because
getting there.
she wants to keep this game going with Nino,
Yeah.
but without ever giving him the book back, the game's not going to last. So you have to keep
Yeah.
things moving forward, but still keep things as they were because she still has his book.
Yeah.
But then through the course of the song, she is leading him up to a, what do you even call it?
It's just
Like the binocular things that you put a quarter in, or in this case, 5
yeah,
francs.
5 francs. Yeah, it's just like a scenic outlook thing.
Yeah,
with
kind of
the-
thing, at the top of Montmartre. And she is down below by his bike, and so he looks through the thing, finds her, she puts the book in his bag, and runs away because
Yeah.
he's far up the hill, and so he can't get down fast enough. And that was her plan the whole time.
Yeah. And he was just like, wait. And she's just like, nope. And she pieces out.
But the way that she does it,
I could stay right here and let it all go wrong. Just stand right here. I mean, what the hell have I been doing all along? Maybe I can try and stay. Just stand right here. Here he comes, screw that, run away.
I love that she just says, screw that, run
screw
away.
that, run away. So good. And again, we're getting a little bit more character from Philippa Sue than would be typical for her. And so I love that this, like, a lot of people questioned her choice to leave Great Comet to do Amélie.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was in Great Comet off Broadway, but then did not stick with it to Broadway, which is in this season as well. She did Amélie instead. And I'm like, I think it was really good for her creatively, if nothing else, because it let her explore a different side of herself than she had been able to previously.
Yeah. And also,
Because both Eliza and Natasha are very
Yeah.
demure, quiet like characters.
yeah, this way she can actually have more fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as
And show
tragic
that she
of
can
a
do more than
story.
just be that one trope,
Yeah, yeah.
which is great. Good for her. We like that. So it turns out after the song, Amélie then calls the phone booth next to Nino and actually agrees to meet him. Again, we don't get this on the album at all.
We do not know this.
But they set a time and place. He's going to come to the cafe the next day at like 2 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
So the next track, though, is The Late Nino Quincampoix,
Yeah.
which, not going to lie, I feel really dumb. For years, I always wondered what a Quincampoix was.
Oh.
Or Quincampoix. And then I looked up yesterday and I was like,
And
oh,
it's
it's just his last name.
Yeah. Monsieur Nino Quincampoix. Yeah.
So that's on me. But so this is now, she's ready for the date and he's late. And so she
Yeah.
starts catastrophizing with her imagination. And it's such a wild ride that
I
she concocts.
love this. I love the fact that they finally show, like, this is how her mind works.
Nino is late. His watch has probably stopped. And if his watch has stopped, he had to get it fixed. Fixed at the shop that sits across the tracks. The same high voltage tracks of Europe's fastest train.
And it's very much like oh my God,
It's
just like her
you
anxiety.
go from here to here and just
her,
keeps bouncing from thing to thing without any logic to it.
Just like worst case scenario is like, oh, okay, so he's a little bit late.
Well, why is he late? Well, his watch isn't working. So then he would have been going to get it fixed.
Yeah, he's got to get it fixed.
But then he crossed the track and he got hit by a train.
Yeah.
And then a nurse takes care of him and then he marries her. Of course, it's all ruined.
Yeah.
Like, so quickly that she goes to that place.
And like, right, wasn't she, because she's in the 2 windmills and her coworkers are there with her, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love that she has the support in this, but it's also a little dark to just immediately go to worst case scenarios. He got hit by a train.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it tore him limb from limb, but he survived.
But he survived. And so did the watch.
Yes.
Yeah. Which was put back on his wrist
love
by a nurse.
The story ends with,
Who has time for a guy like that? For a guy who doesn't know how to tell time.
Yeah.
like you referenced before, it's coming
Circling
back.
How to tell time. The fact that they brought that back for, and again, completely different characters.
Circumstance. Yeah.
Bertodo, nothing to do with Nino. But the fact that they brought back that part of the song, I loved it. Because it's just, I don't know. I like it.
I like it.
I was like, okay, cool. I was like, it's well written. It's fun. It's fun to listen to. It's fun to sing. I was like, yes, bring this back all the time.
And so Amélie freaks out and leaves.
Yeah.
Because this has all gone wrong so quickly.
Yep.
And then Nino arrives 1 minute late.
Yeah.
All this, and he wasn't even a full minute late.
Well, I mean, he's dead, but then not actually dead, and then marry someone else because
So
she helped him learn how to walk again, and
She helped him get on his knees to propose.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This fake nurse.
Yeah. Nora.
Nora.
Sounds like a bitch. Actually, she
Fuck
sounds
Nora.
wonderful, which is even worse.
Yeah, that's right. Like she would actually.
Fuck her
she's
for being a
actually
good
really
person.
nice. Yeah.
So now Nino is at the cafe, and the next song is A Better Haircut, which is basically her coworkers and friends grilling him.
Yeah, and I was like, why is it a better haircut? Why does he need a better haircut?
Yeah, we get it at the end of the song.
And I was just like,
But it's a really random line to pull for the title of the song. There's a lot of wordplay throughout here, though.
Yeah, Suzanne, Georgette, and Gina just going about their, like, these are my failed relationships.
Yeah, it's like they're just trying to scare him into, are you really up for this? Like, don't enter this half-assed.
And also don't do this to her.
Yeah. So they're just really scaring him until they ask the questions at the end. But a lot of wordplay, not a lot of rhyming, but it still kind of works, so I'm okay with that. So Suzanne is giving her bad relationship story from when she was a trapeze artist, and the line,
Everything was going perfect in the circus until the day he dropped me and then dropped me for the tattooed lady.
God, the wordplay. He dropped me literally.
He literally
and then
dropped her.
me as a relationship.
Yeah.
I love wordplay like that.
Yeah. It is so fun, but also like, oh my God, oh, Suzanne.
And then in the chorus after that, it's,
It seems that every single guy that I know has another lady on the sideshow.
and she just says show.
Show.
Sideshow.
I didn't even pick that up. That's amazing because she was in the circuit, like
Yeah.
sideshow.
It's so smart and so
Oh my
quick and
God.
subtle that it's very easy to miss. I don't think I caught that until going through, like, on my repeat listens for the podcast here.
Oh, nice.
I never caught
Yeah,
that
yeah.
before.
God, see, like the lyrics, so fun.
Love is just another diagnosis, like bacterial vaginosis.
This, oh my God, the fact that so many of Georgette's lines are just diseases. She's just saying all these different diseases that people
While
can
everybody else
have.
is singing, she's just listing.
Love is just another diagnosis, like chicken pox, swine flu, streptococcus, walking pneumonia, mumps, herpes, hepatitis, syphilis, tetanus, human papillomavirus.
Human papillomavirus.
Because because before that, it's, are you a lover for the ages? Are you highly contagious?
Yeah, because again, from the album, we don't know that Georgette is a hypochondriac, and so she's like terrified of all the diseases.
Oh.
And so that's why she's just like, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have
I
this?
thought.
Do you have this?
Oh, I
Like,
didn't
yeah.
realize that. I thought that was her way of asking if he has STDs.
Oh, no, she just wants to know if he has anything. Because literally,
she's asking for herself, not for
terrified of
Amélie.
anything.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I mean, it could be for everyone, but she's just like, what do you have? People have diseases. Here's a
And
list
love
of
is
them.
just another disease.
Love is just another disease. Oh my God. Yes.
So they're trying to scare him, and then they're asking, like, are you good enough for Amélie, basically?
Mm-hmm.
And it is beautiful that his answer is not to say, yes, of course, I'll be perfect, I'll do everything. He's like, I can't promise anything,
Yeah.
but I want to try.
There are no promises that I can give you. There's no guarantee that we will live to 80 without breaking up or making each other miserable.
He's like, I can't promise that we'll still be together. Like, I love her and I don't even know her name.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, Nino. Oh,
Nino.
he's so sweet.
But he passes the test. So they give him her name and address.
Which is a little weird.
A little bit, yeah.
I was like, to just hear her be like, oh, okay, here is her address. Go to her apartment. She's probably waiting for you. I was like, okay, yeah, she is. But I was like,
There's a lot of assuming in this show.
yeah.
We're assuming that the blind guy wants to be rushed down the street.
Yeah.
We're assuming that Amélie wants her name and phone number and address given out to this guy.
Yeah.
Why not?
And that she wants him to go there. Like, okay, yeah, cool. Just, I mean, 90s. I don't know, man.
The
Maybe
90s, man.
Yeah. They were
That's
just
just-
more. I mean, if
The answer to
everything
everything,
was.
man, it's just the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, back then, everyone's information, I guess, was in the phone book. So it's not like it was
Oh, that's true.
a super huge secret. But
So if you know her name, you could just find her address anyway. Mm-hmm. That's so wild
Yeah.
to think about that was the norm.
that was the thing back in the day. Yeah, right? Because it's like
and
when
now you're
she.
like, I don't want anybody to know anything about me unless I explicitly tell them.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I forgot that. Yeah, in the movie, when she's looking up the incorrect name, the Bredotto.
Yeah, that's how she
Yeah.
finds him is by the phone book,
Yeah.
not the internet back then.
But yeah, just weird to be like, here's her address. I'm all, yeah, maybe don't. Single woman living by herself, like,
Maybe let's
Don't give
reschedule
her
the date or we'll go find her and bring her back.
yeah. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
One of them could have left the cafe
Yeah.
and come back with her.
But that's not romantic.
That's true.
Instead, now we get to Stay, which he's gone to her address, and this song is gorgeous. I love it. So he knocks on the door. She sees the peephole that's him, and she can't bring herself to open the door, but she doesn't want him to leave. And so she's singing, just stay there for right now.
Yeah, and they're just on opposite sides of this door, and I was like,
It's so cute.
Stay where you are. Don't come too close and don't go too far.
And okay, irregular meter alert, but I really love that as we're going through, it's this nice kind of, we're just dropping beats to kind of always feel like we're falling forward a little bit.
because
'Cause
they're falling in love.
It's beautiful. And it's simple, but so sweet and heartfelt.
Stay where you are. Safe and afraid. Try to move closer. You'll only get halfway. Pin down your heart. Put out the flame. Don't come any closer, but don't move away.
She's finally getting something good for herself. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
and she's afraid to take it because Zeno's paradox still is the problem.
Yep. Which leads into
Halfway
the next song.
reprise. It's coming
Perfect
back.
segue.
So apparently, between tracks that we don't get on the album,
Yeah, we don't hear this.
Dufayel gets involved and tells Amélie whatever, and so she's inspired to open the door.
Yeah.
So now they're just standing apart from each other, staring at each other, not moving closer because of Zeno's paradox. And I do really like how hokey it is. Like he solves
He
Zeno's
solves
paradox.
the paradox.
Is it true that you've solved Zeno's paradox?
Yes, but I have to do more than stay.
Even though I am always halfway there.
I could meet you there halfway.
That completely is not correct at all, but it's
You're
so
like, that's
cute.
not how that works.
But it's still cute.
Right? Because, yeah, if you're going halfway to something, if that thing comes that same halfway to you,
The halfway point is always moving,
yeah.
but
But
it
it's-
gets through to
oh.
her and it helps her to accept that they can touch.
yeah.
And again, not on the album, but from the movie and I think in the show, she starts with like awkward little kisses because that's all she can bring herself to do. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, because she doesn't go straight for, like, kissing on the mouth. She kisses, is it side of the mouth? And then the nape of her neck, or nape of his neck, and then, like, her eyebrow. And then she gets him to mimic or mirror that. So she points to the points on her face for him to kiss her. But in the movie, he
Totally
actually
normal
gets
thing to
through.
do.
Yeah, that's how you greet people. Well, I mean, it's kind of their first meeting, sort of ish. So maybe it would have been
The first time talking.
true. Maybe it would have been weird to just like go into it. But
That's what happens in the movies and shows all the time.
true.
They
But yeah,
saw
so-
each other from across the gymnasium.
yeah, no. So she does the 3 kisses on him, and then he does the 3 kisses on her. in the movie, because in the show, or at least the bootleg from the LA production, yeah, like he doesn't get to that third kiss.
Oh.
Because then they just like kiss each
Cute.
other. Yeah.
And then the obvious question from there is the next track. Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Because Amelie is certainly not experienced enough to have a clue, and we don't know enough about Nino to know how much experience he has either. But
Yeah.
even if he does, he doesn't have experience dating Amelie.
Yeah.
And what is that going to look
Just gonna
like?
be way different. Yeah.
So totally unfamiliar territory. What do we do now?
Where do we go from here? Now that we are sitting side by side, after all, there's more to life than we can see.
Yeah. And then just asking like, oh, will there be troubles? Like, oh, I don't know. Will there be, okay, this is the one thing that in the Broadway version, will there be sweet things? I hope so. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird to go from like, oh, will there be troubles? Like something that's like bigger as far as relationship goes, to just go to, will there be sweet things? Like, you just want a treat?
Okay.
You want a little treat right now?
I thought it was like him being sweet to her.
Oh,
Like, will there be
sweet things like that?
yeah.
Oh, okay. That is way better than how I took it, because I was like, you want a piece of cake? You
what's
want
the
a
line in
cookie or
the
something?
UK?
Will you be with me? I hope so.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, that's way better.
Okay.
I love that one.
All right. We'll give him that one.
The only point that the UK version gets from me. Amélie.
Musically, I don't understand it.
Amélie.
I don't understand it thematically, but musically, I love that we bring back When the Booth Goes Bright layered in with this for our finale.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. It doesn't end on any kind of major declarative statement. It's, okay, now what?
Booth
And that's
goes
where we
bright,
end.
and yeah.
Which is really pretty. Like, that's, again, this story is not about huge plot. It's about trying to find connection, and they did.
Yeah.
What happens when the booth goes bright? What happens when you're out of view? What happens when you can't hold on? Or when I can't hold on to you?
And then I think in the stage show, they like go into the photo booth together and take
yeah.
pictures. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's cute.
So that is super cute, because that's kind of like how they met,
In a really weird way.
In a very weird way, yeah.
And then for the album, we have the bonus track of the pop version of Times Are Hard for Dreamers,
Yeah.
which is basically just a little bit different orchestration, a few word changes.
They say times are hard for dreamers, but they are not hard for me. I've saved up everything I know.
It is so
Not that much
similar that I
difference.
honestly could not
I
tell you the
cannot
difference.
tell you which one is which, like which lyric is which.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay,
But
I don't...
sure, it's a great song, so I'll get another version of it. Why not?
Exactly. I was like, this is a song I would listen to over and over again anyway. So I'll just
Now I
listen
have
to
two
another
versions
version
to
of it.
listen to
Yeah.
over and over.
I was like, oh, this is a nice way to cap off the album, is
Yeah.
repeating the song that I really liked earlier in the album. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm all for it.
And all it takes is one more step, and then I'm here, just me behind my door. It isn't what I have, it's only what I have in store that matters now.
So the show ran for only 56 performances at the Walter Kerr Theater, 0 Tony nominations, which is a shame. I think, having the show be in this packed season certainly was not helping, because this is a major, major season with a lot of widely popular shows, not just a large number of them, but so many that are getting so much attention. I don't know that it ever could have broken through that,
Yeah.
but
Maybe
I wish
timing
it had
was
gotten a
just
different
little-
season to try to at least get some notice, because I feel like most people don't even know that this is a show,
Yeah.
because it was so overshadowed.
Yeah.
All right, so from this album, who is your standout performer?
Okay. I, again, did not know Manuel Feliciano before this, his voice before this, but oh my God. Like,
Okay.
he, for me, is like, that was the top. I was just like, wait, that's the same actor that plays Raphael singing Bretto Do? Because, like, his bit for Bretto Do, I was like, oh, this sounds really good. So, yeah, I liked him.
All right. I think I'm going to still have to go with Philippa. Like, Adam just doesn't have enough on the album. Like,
Yeah, he didn't have enough to do, and it's
yeah,
all
and
kind
for
of the
such a nice
same.
voice, and yeah, it is very rinse and repeat as far as the moods that he gets to express. It's,
Yeah, and like the tones and
Yeah.
stuff.
So I'm going to go with Philippa still.
Yeah, she gets to be more fun and playful and do
Yeah,
more
I
stuff
love
with her
that.
voice. Yeah.
What is your go-to track? You're one to lift out and listen to over and over.
I was like, times are hard for
Yeah,
dreamers.
this-
Obvious.
Yeah, it's obviously
it-
that one for me too, because it's the best song.
Yeah, and I'm just
It
like,
just makes me happy to listen to it.
yeah, and I was like, I love dreaming. I'm
Like
very
that optimism
much like,
is very infectious from the song.
yeah, and I'm very much, like grew up with like a Disney mindset of like wishing and dreaming and believing in things and stuff like and magic and all this stuff. And so like times are hard for dreamers, and I was like, oh shit, they are.
Yeah.
That's why, but then, no place like Gnome though. God, I love the wordplay so much. It's so corny and it is so amazing, and I love it. Love it,
Love
love
that.
it, love it.
Love that for you. All right, let's score this mother.
Okay.
Under composition for music out of 15 points.
I did 13. I'm a very, very easy rater. So for the most part, I'm just like, they did great. They did great. This is awesome. They did great. So yeah, so 13 because I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to do anything like fully, this is the best thing ever, like 100%. I almost never grade anything like that high.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 11.
Okay.
I think it is very effective at what it's doing. Is it groundbreaking in any way? Not really. Yeah. Is it the most inspired composing ever? No. But it's really pleasant to listen to. I really enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and I do love the repeating of some of the motifs and melodies and stuff. I love, like, I am such a sucker for that. Like, that's why I freaking love Les Mis so much. Like, again, growing up with a 2-disc set of the London recording, like, my dad literally had notes in it. Like, he'd put a little Post-it note in there and say, like, oh, this bit of Fontaine singing, like, Come to Me, same as On My Own over here. And I was like, oh, yeah. So that's when I started, like, noting those things.
Nice.
Like,
Good for him for imparting that in you early.
yeah.
For lyrics out of 15 points.
So I did 14 because, again, I feel very like, okay, 15 out of 15 would be like super deep. This got me thinking, like, this is really, really good. I can't not love the really corny wordplay.
All right.
So I was like, yes, if you're going to say Rio de Janeiro is Brazilian,
You're on board.
points for that. All the points. Well, not all
All
the
right.
points, 14 points for that.
I'm going to go with 12. A lot of the lyrics are just, they don't hit you specifically necessarily because they're just so fluid and easy, which is
Yeah.
a lot of times what you want. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of really great standouts. Also some really moments. So I'm going to go with 12.
Yeah, because it definitely is. I guess this is more in like the storytelling part of it. But yeah, it definitely is just like these words are to help you get the story. Here you go.
Yeah. All right. Now, performance categories. Virtuosity out of 15 points.
I did 14.
Okay. I'm going with 12.
Okay.
Because Philippa is flawless. Everyone else either has some, like Adam has a couple strained notes here and there. Young Amélie has some pitch issues, and a lot of the others are doing character work, which is not going to be as virtuosic by necessity.
Yeah.
Right choice, but not as high in that category for me.
Yeah. Which is fair. I
Yeah.
was just like, they sounded great. But then, yeah.
And
dock
then
a point
for
the kid.
personality, out of 15 points.
14 as well. I was
Okay.
like,
Another 12 for me.
nice.
And this
So
is
it's
kind
just-
of flipped, where we're getting less of the personality from. I almost called her Pippa, but I feel bad doing that because I don't know her.
Because you don't actually know. Yeah, I was like, I've heard
But I
her
wanna know her.
referred to as Pippa, and I was like, I should say her full name.
Philippa Sue.
This feels weird.
So she's giving less of the character, and others are giving more. So it kind of averages out similarly to the same score for me as the virtuosity. It's just kind of more the inverse
Oh, right.
of who's
yeah.
doing what.
And
And
I
then
was just-
for our theatricality categories,
Theatricality.
storytelling out of 15 points.
This is one of the 2 times that I did this. 15. I did full 15 out of 15 because I was like, this album is literally telling the story of the movie, of the show. Admittedly, because
Would
I
you
had
know
the,
that if you didn't know the movie?
That's the thing is, yeah, I was like, admittedly, I did have the background of the movie. So then I could listen to it and be like, oh, they're talking about this one thing. Oh, they're talking about this one thing that happened in the movie. They're talking about this thing. But yeah, if I didn't have the movie background, I'd be like, okay, I can see how a story is moving forward, but I'm not, like, there are clearly holes in it if you literally just listen to the album.
Yeah.
But I am extremely biased, and I love this movie so fucking much. So I was
All
like,
right.
15 out of 15. I love this story.
I put down 9. I think you can get a feeling of a story through the album alone. Are you getting any of the details? No. Are you missing details that are necessary to get this story as it is? Yes. You're missing a lot, but you can
Yeah.
construct a narrative for yourself, which is good.
Yeah.
Versus some albums where you're like, I can't even make up in my mind how these
Figure out what it is.
create a story.
Yeah.
So
It's like Amélie, where she just makes up stories for things and people. She's just filling in those little plot holes.
emotiveness out of 10 points.
I did 9.5. Can we do half points?
You may.
Okay, I did 9.5.
Okay.
I was like, the emotions weren't super, super complex, but I feel like they did touch on stuff where I was like, you know, especially like her relationship with her parents. I was like, oh, okay, they did explore that in a way that I was like, okay, it was explored well. Admittedly, I thought it was kind of, again, didn't need to be split up into multiple songs, but what else?
I went with 6 for emotiveness. I think based on the story of what it, you know, based on what the story is, there's a lot of repressed feelings in the characters. And so that's going to come across as not giving as much emotion through the album, which again is appropriate. But for the world's best trio, we're really more inferring our own emotion from the situation rather than getting it from the actors on the album.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely there's stuff there, so that's why I didn't go lower. But it's not making me cry. It's not making me feel all these huge things. But it does make me feel just calm and happy, which is
okay, which is also
is a good result.
I mean,
but yeah, so
could be worse things.
could be worse things, and there are this season. But so now our miscellaneous potpourri categories: inventiveness out of 5 points.
3. This is the only this. I think the lowest that I did for any of them was I was like, you know what? This is like smack dab in the middle. This is very much a like we're just gonna do mainstream poppy music. That's it. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
it's fine.
I'm gonna also go with 3.
Hey.
It's not just like everything else out there, but it's not crazy breaking new ground or anything like that. So
Yeah, it's not like, oh my god, I haven't heard this style before.
yeah.
It's very much a, oh, yep.
For clarity and usability out of 5 points.
I did 4.
4.
Yeah, because I thought this.
Because you don't like the tracks.
What? No, I was like, the song sounded good. I mean, as far as what was this bit of the rubric, you know, the issues with the actual recording stuff. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. I went with 5. I don't have a problem with the tracks, and I don't have any mixing issues that stood out to me, so I have nothing to deduct.
Oh, okay.
So one score that I'm higher than you.
Yeah, I was like, wait, should I go back and?
It's fine. And then curb appeal out of 5 points.
This is the other one where I went full points. I was like 5. I was like, it's so cute.
So I went with 4.5 because why would you put the raspberries on her fingers and then have the background be the exact same color so you can't see them?
Okay.
What were they thinking?
That's fair. You're right. They definitely should have had a different color.
Come on. Like, it's such a good idea to have that be the visual.
Yeah.
But it's literally the same shade of dark red. It's not.
That's true.
Come on. At least
Okay. Can I bump mine down to a 4.5? I'll do the same. Because, yeah, I was like, if they did. I mean, if she, as a kid, I put, black olives on my fingers and ate them off. And I was like, that would make more sense as far as the contrast.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like the red
Whatever
raspberries
you choose,
with the
you have
red
to be able
background.
to see it to get the impact.
Because otherwise it looks like her hands just like.
Little shorter fingers.
Yeah, just little stub fingers.
But it's giving the whimsy of the show. Like, I love the red as, just aesthetically, I love the red. Mm-hmm. So I think it's otherwise beautiful. And
yeah, because
I think it conveys what the story is, what the show is.
Yeah.
Just that I can't get over that.
Yeah.
That poor choice.
And they also put her, like the red sweater, so she is very on stage. She looks very bright.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So it makes sense to have red be the color for the album.
Yeah.
Cover, because that is kind of her color throughout the show.
Just put a different color directly behind the raspberries.
Yeah. Oh well. So that brings us to, for me, a score of 74.5. For you, 91. So we'll average out at 82.75.
Told you, I'm a very easy grader. This is why I can never be a teacher. I would just be like, well, you tried. Good job. Here you go.
A+.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the show or the album?
I just love it.
It is a darling album.
So much. And and I do like the one change to where do we go from here in the UK version, but everything else about the UK. Well, no, because they did also take out the young Amélie character, and then apparently
it's a puppet.
Made her, and I was all,
it's
okay.
Kind of creepy, but kind of cool.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I haven't looked into it because it sounded weird to me, and I was all, I like the puppetry they did with this
and
one,
they have
with the fish.
the Amélie actor sitting next to the puppet, or always next to it, singing for it.
Oh,
so it's still her singing. Yeah,
but she's just
I do recommend checking out the video of the full production from the UK.
Okay,
it's very, very different. The aesthetics are very, very different, but I think it's worth seeing. Especially to compare with the movie and the Broadway show. So you should do that.
But the accents.
Well, you can suffer through for a couple hours.
Yeah, true.
And you get used to it after a while.
Okay.
Aly, thank you for being here with me today.
No problem.
To gush over Amélie.
Thank you for having me. I was so stoked when you like gave the list of shows and you were like, okay, because I actually like Amélie too, and I want to find someone else who also likes it. And I was all, I like it.
I found my person.
You found it. You found it. You got me.
If people want to stalk you online, what's the best way for them to do that?
My Instagram handle is at Aly Sato 26.
You can follow the podcast on Instagram at Little Things We Hear Together. You can email me at littlethingsweheartogether@gmail.com. Wherever you are getting your podcasts, please give a 5-star rating and leave a review. That would make me very happy. Tune in next week to find out what other album we're doing from this great season. All right. Thank you, Aly.
Thanks, Alex.